everybody, what's up, how's it going? Thanks for watching, thanks for being here, welcome. This is Sean. I do sneakers, I do travel, and everything in between. In this episode, we're gonna feature a true classic, the quintessential classic, one of the greatest sneakers of all time, one of the best silhouettes, one of the best shapes, one of the best models ever of a sneaker, the Nike Air Force One. What is a classic sneaker? Let's answer that question first. I've stated my definition in other videos, and it's not going to change. A classic sneaker has to be transcendent, right? It has to break barriers. It has to transcend generations. You can wear it, your dad can wear it, your daughter can wear it, your wife can wear it. It has to transcend genders also. It's for guys, it's for girls. Classic sneakers have to be affordable. The price point has to be great. They have to be accessible. It's readily available. The design has to be basic. The design has to be classic and timeless. That's a classic. In this episode, we will focus on the Air Force One. The name, of course, is inspired by the aircraft that carries the US president. There you go, Nike Air Force One. This is a Navy Air Force One. The official colorway for you in this episode is Midnight Navy / white. Alright, classic sneaker. Oh man, that looks beautiful. That's such a classic. So let's do a quick go around of the sneaker. The first thing that pops is the white swoosh that sits over a dominantly navy upper. That's an all-leather upper here. It looks beautiful, man. Over here at the back, you have the Nike Air, the white Nike Air embroidery. Another swoosh here on the medial side. You have your leather eye stays. You have the Nike logo stitched onto this part of the toe box. You have a perforated toe box. Navy sock liner, body color sock liner. At the tongue, you have the Nike Air Air Force One tab. And on the insole, you have Nike Air. You have that Air branding here on the midsole. It's a white midsole with a blue bottom. I really wouldn't call it an outsole because Air Force Ones use a cup sole. A cup sole is a one-piece sole where you don't have a clear distinction between the midsole and the outsole. Now this looks like an outsole because the color is different, but really it's just one piece. It is one piece, or at least I know that it is. Let me just check my mic over here. And this certainly looks like it's a one-piece sole. I know of other Air Force One releases that are not a one-piece cup sole. Their outsoles would be those clear icy outsoles. That's definitely not one piece. But this one looks like it's true to the original. It's done in one piece. One more distinguishing characteristic of the Air Force One is the midsole stitching. Over here, you see that it runs along the midsole. And you know what? I used to think that the stitching is superficial. But I checked one of my old Air Force Ones. I tried to do a forced sole separation to see if the stitching is only superficial, but the stitching is actually it actually goes through the upper. It's a true stitched on sole, right? Yeah, I'll show you the sneaker later, but there you go. Signature stitching on the midsole. There's a common misconception about the Nike Air Force One. Many believe that the Nike Air Force One is the first Nike sneaker to carry Nike Air technology, but the truth is that it is not. It's the first basketball sneaker to carry Nike Air technology, but as far as sneakers go, generally, the first Nike sneaker that carried Nike technology, Nike Air technology, was the Nike Air Tailwind, and that sneaker came out, I believe, 78 or 79. right? So yeah, it's the first basketball sneaker to carry Nike Air, but not the first sneaker to carry Nike Air. These bad boys came out in 1982. These predate the Nike Dunk, the Nike Air Jordan 1. Man, these really set the tone. And believe it or not, Nike almost discontinued the Air Force One when they produced the Dunks and the Air Jordans. Thank God that didn't happen. Speaking of Dunks and the Jordans, which both came out in 1984, well, the Jordan 1 came out in 1985, but both were designed in 1984. Anyway, those two sneakers were high tops, and the Air Force One, which came out in 1982, was originally a high top. I think you knew that already. The lows were, they came out later, I'm not sure how many years after, but it was not long after the release of the high tops they released these low tops, okay? And the low tops, of course, went on to become the more popular edition of the Air Force One. I was gonna say nobody wants the high tops. Maybe there's a subculture that likes it, but the low tops are just infinitely better than the high tops. Hey, challenge me if you're a fan of the high top Air Force Ones, but these just look so much better in my opinion. The Air Force One was designed by Bruce Kilgore. He was a car designer. He was also a home appliance designer. That's pretty cool, right? He joined Nike. He designed the Air Force One, and before the Air Force One, he's never designed a sneaker. So that's pretty remarkable. And Bruce Kilgore is also the same guy who designed the Air Jordan 2. That's pretty cool. The Air Jordan 2 came out in 1987, right? So he designed this, released in 1982. 5 years after, he designed another iconic sneaker, the Air Jordan 2. So I did say that price point is an essential quality of a classic sneaker, and the Air Force One is it's probably the best example of a great high-quality classic sneaker that has a popular price point. They're only 4,700 pesos, and they're available everywhere. The retailers have them. You'll see these on the walls. You'll see these on the sale rack. They're everywhere. They're accessible, right? So 4,700 pesos for the basic Air Force One. And there are other special edition Air Force Ones, and they cost a couple $100 more, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 more. There's also the collaborations. There's the Off-Whites and the Cold Walls, and they go for so much more, but basically, fundamentally, the Air Force One is an affordable sneaker. If you go check out the US website, the Nike US website, the basic Air Force One is $90. Hey, I did tell you that I was going to show you an old Air Force One, right? We have this. Man, it's another pair from Sean's Vault, aka the old dusty closet. These are my Air Force One Japans from 2007. I swear, man, when I pulled these out of the closet, there was like a ray of light that shone on my face. I'm so happy I'm seeing these again. They've been in that place for years, you know, for many, many years, tucked away, and now they're seeing daylight. These are not wearable anymore, you know, 2007, they're 12 years old. As much as I want to wear them, I think they're gonna crumble when I do. Take a look at the insole here. You have silhouettes of, they're obviously samurai, right? The aqua and purple samurai silhouettes. It's really cool. Hey, here's some B-roll of other Air Force One I saw at the store. Enjoy. we're back. Don't you just love the Nike Air Force One? Such a classic, right? Are you a classics guy? What brand do you rock? Do you like the Adidas Superstar? Do you like the Reebok Classic? Do you like Fila? Do you like old Filas? You know, if you're a classics guy, or if you have an opinion about classics, hit me up in the comments. Let's have a conversation, right? So yeah, that's all the time we have for this episode. Oh, hey, before we go, I'm announcing my new giveaway, right? We're gonna do a 7K special. Check my subscriber count. We're not too far from that. When we hit 7K, I'm giving away 2 brand new sneakers in your size. We're gonna name 2 winners, right? I'm gonna give away a pair of Vans and a pair of Converse with a t-shirt with a cap. That's pretty cool, right? So yeah, that's really it. And that's all the time we have for this episode. And before we go, I'd like to remind you that your value as a person is not measured by what's on your feet. Be kind. That's more important than sneakers. I'll see you next time.